Sometimes people frequently used Hashmap in their program. So during interview, many times interviewer used to ask, can you please explain how Hashmap internally implemented in Java? So in that cases, candidate need to write the custom implementation of the Hashmap. So let's discuss this problem today. So custom implementation of the hash map means that you need to write the code how Java has designed the hash map. But before going that, let's understand how hash map actually works. So this is my one hash map that I've created. So as you can see, we have the key as a string and the value as an integer. And as we all know, we have the two standard functions in HashMap, that is put and get. So in the put, I pass the key as a string, that is, let's say you can assume it as some kind of age. I'm passing it as a key and the value is 21. So this will store the value into the hash map and then I will perform the get operations. So in the get operation, I just pass the key and I will get the value of it. So this is the two operations that mostly happen into the hash map. But in these operations, put and get, we always have two internal operations that is involved, which is common to both of them, that is hash code and equals. So even if you are performing the put operations or you are performing the get operations, always these two instructions executed. So let's try to understand what this two instruction actually does in the hash map. Consider this is my hash map. So here you can assume it as a value as an integer and the key as an integer and the value is the object of this class which has two members, key and value. So the value is the object and the key is the integer. So let's say when you perform the put operations, so what it does, this put operation actually store the value into the hash map. But how it stores? It internally calls these two functions, hash code and equals. So once it call hash code, the job of the hash code is to return the index of this table where I'm supposed to store the value. So this is one table, or you can assume it as some kind of array list. So when you perform the hash code operation, you will get the particular index where I need to store my value. So that's where I use the hash code. And the equals is like out of all these nodes in this index or the bucket of this table, every object key actually represents the same index of this table. So that's why if all of these keys actually represent the same index of this table, so I need to select the unique one. So for that I use the equals method. So what it does, equals method, out of all these objects, it actually compares the keys and whichever matches, it returns that object. So in the put operations, we use the hash code to find out the index in the table and equals to find out that specific object which actually is my desired object. So all these objects actually represent the same index of this bucket. But out of this object, I need to select my desired one. So that's why I compare all the keys value and there we use the equals method. Similarly, in case of get also, I need to get the value from the hash map. So I again in case of get also I call hash code and equals method. Hash code will give me the particular index into this specific table. So let's say it returns this particular index in this table and then the equals is actually compares out of all this object which is the desired object that user need. So again I use the equals method to compare the actual keys and return that object. So these two operations always use in case of put and get.